And now, it's time for another Dice Tower review with Tom Vasel.
The picture on the front of Pack and Stack reminds me of many of the trucks that I see here in Korea, where they manage to fit so many things on top of a truck and drive it around that I'm not really sure how they manage to maneuver the truck without everything falling off. But that's the theme here, in which players are trying to pack things into a truck on a card using different blocks. It's a spatial game, basically featuring geometry and knowing how to put things in a three-dimensional shape. But unlike other games of this genre, this one relies a little bit on speed and a lot on just pure fun. It's a very enjoyable game. But let's look and see what you get inside the box. Alright, here's a pile of wooden blocks that comes with the game. These are the goods that you'll be stacking in your truck. At the beginning of each round, players are rolling a bunch of dice that match the colors of these blocks. So for example, I rolled these dice, and you see I rolled a 2 on the white die, so I have to take 2 white blocks. I didn't roll anything on the blue die, so I don't need to take any of those. I rolled a 2 on the gray die, so I take 2 gray blocks, and a 2 on the brown die, taking 2 of those, and I got a little bit lucky, I suppose, in the fact that I didn't roll any of the bigger sticks. So I have those. And someone else could roll, and they might get something completely different. And this person gets 2 whites, 2 blues, and 2 grays. The numbers on the dice are different. For example, the light blue and the dark blue have 0, 1, or 2 on them. The gray can go all the way up to 3, as does the brown. And the white will go all the way up to 5. And so there's different numbers on the dice, and you'll get different loads. Once everybody has rolled, and everybody has a load, then the second round begins. This is the round that includes trucks. Now, each player, depending on how many players there are, is going to flip either 1 or 2 trucks in front of them. They're going to put them face down like this, and then, at a prearranged signal, everybody is going to turn these trucks over, and you're going to pick a truck off the table. Now, you can pick any truck that is not in front of you. Or, if you don't like any of the trucks that are in front of other players, you can take the top truck off the draw pile. In fact, if you're really slow, the person who takes the last truck has to take the truck off the draw pile. After everyone's taken a truck, everybody will then take their load and fit it on their truck. So let's say, for example, I took this truck here. This is a truck, and the number on the cab here is a 1, which means the level of this truck is only level 1. So I cannot build higher than a level 1, and I can only build in the grid shown on the truck. So in this instance, I would do this and put these pieces like this. And I've completely filled the truck. However, I have pieces that are left over. Now, the pieces that are left over are going to cost me points. These are gray pieces. They're a size 2. And so I'm going to lose double points for them. 2 times 2 is 4. So each one of these causes me to lose 4 points. I'm going to lose 8 points total. See, at the beginning of the game, everybody gets a certain amount of points, 75 points, and you'll be losing points during each round. And you just make change, and you're basically counting down. However, I mentioned that if you had some extra pieces, you lost points, but if you have extra space in the truck. Let's say, for instance, in the same situation, I had taken this level 2 truck. And so I put this piece here. These pieces I stand up to fit them over here. Because it's a level 2, I can go higher. Like this. Alright, I fit everything in the truck. Yeah, I don't lose any points, but now I have room to spare. I look at how many white cubes I could fit in the truck still. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and I lose 12 points. So there's less of a penalty for not filling a truck up completely, but you can still get a penalty. Can you imagine if I had taken this level 4 truck, how many empty spaces I would have left over? However, the fact is that sometimes you need those level 4 trucks. And many times you're just going to get messed over because you grab a truck that you think you can fill up, but you really can't. The player who loses the fewest points gets 10 bonus points added to their score, and you continue to play this way until one person runs out of points. At that time, whoever has the most points is the winner. There are plenty of trucks included with the games, levels 1, 2, 3, and 4, and so there's a lot of variety in the shapes, and basically you're trying to build using these shapes even if you get the most blocks, which is 2 of the dark blues and 2 of the light blues and 3 of the browns, there's at least one truck that can fit everything inside it. And so there's plenty of space for you. It's just a question of, are you going to grab the right truck fast enough to be able to win? Basically, the game comes down to speed. There's really, when you roll the dice, which I really think are neat, by the way, the fact that they match the colors of the blocks exactly. But when you roll these dice, you get a lot of blocks or a few blocks, and there's really no disadvantage to having either, although probably fewer blocks is a little better because you lose more points for having too many blocks. But really it all comes down to grabbing the truck as quickly as you can. There's no time limit to stacking the truck, so you can take your time, make sure you get the pieces stacked on correctly. And it's not like it's difficult to stack the truck. You just do your best to get all the pieces in. So there's really only one decision you're making each round, and that's which truck to grab. And if there was no speed element to the game would be very boring as players looked around. But you have to quickly grab one, or else you're stuck with a random one, and you definitely don't want the random one. You quickly grab a truck, and you're hoping, by looking at it, the number on the cab, on how many levels it has, and the size, that your pieces are going to fit into it. These blue pieces don't fit in every truck, period. Some of the trucks, the space on the bottom, for example, this truck right here, the space on the bottom is too small to fit one of these blocks in. It's only a level 2. This is 5 length. There's no way this is going to fit in this truck, so grabbing this truck guarantees me a loss of 10 points. So you have to watch for things like that, but you have to do it quickly. And some people aren't going to like that. Others aren't going to like the fact that the games basically play out the same time and time again. You just quickly grab a truck, then put your pieces on it. And I can understand those points, and they're valid. This game probably isn't for everyone. However, I really have a lot of fun playing this, especially with kids and teenagers, because it's a game that they can play, and they can be competitive. They're just grabbing a truck quickly, and if they do that, the games turn out pretty fairly, because sometimes they grab the truck that I needed, or they just get lucky and grab the right truck, and I'm stuck with a truck that caused me to lose a lot of points, and everybody can understand it. It's very simple. It's a game which has this spatial building of blocks, but very simple, very easy to play. Great components, a lot of fun. I know it's not for everybody. Some people aren't going to like the speed. Some people are going to find that maybe it's a little bit too simplistic for them, but I had a lot of fun, and I recommend you try it out.
Thanks for joining us today. For more written, audio, and video reviews, as well as the #1 board game podcast, check out the website at www.thedicetower.com. Until then, this is Eric Summerer, and you've been watching The Dice Tower.